on the sideline.
Thanks, Jim. I had a chance to speak with both coaches coming out of the half, and Mike McCoy was simple. He basically said, we cannot give up those big plays like we did right at the end of the half, and he said, the negative plays are killing us. 6 negative plays for minus 19 yards. As for John Fox, he just said, this is the kind of game we expected. It's a division rival. Enjoy it, guys.
Yeah, but most of those negative plays, Phil, for the Chargers happened in the first quarter. They had that one drive that took up almost a half quarter in time that led to their one score. As you see the first half stats, 13 rushing yards for the Chargers. That last play of the first half when Denver, of course, had dropped back, the 8-yard run by Ronnie Brown made Brown their leading rusher in the first half.
How about that? Well, the days of, let's run the football and kill the clock and keep Peyton Manning on the sideline, that's over. If you want to do it, you got to do it with the pass. Like everybody has said, they need to be short, quick passes.
Now San Diego's touchdown was set up on a 3rd and 20 play, which you were surprised to see it was available.
Well, they're doing it because they want to maybe get him out of field goal range. The blitz from the right side of the offense. What a pickup by everybody. The safety comes out of the middle. The anticipation by Phillip Rivers to Antonio Gates was awesome.
And again, breaks the Bambi record, rightfully so, on a pass way down the field. Allworth, who averaged over 19 yards per reception in his Hall of Fame career, now 74 years old and watching back home in Del Mar, California. We send best wishes.
Well, they recruited Antonio Gates out of college because he was a basketball player. Tim Brewster, the tight end coach of the Chargers, went to the campus, stayed with him, talked him into signing with the San Diego Chargers.
They go with Oliver, and he has had a rough go of it. 8 carries now on the night for 4 yards as he loses one here. So Gates, Rivers to Gates, that's the most prolific touchdown combination, quarterback to tight end, in the history of the league. And this is second best, as you see Brady photobombed by Gronkowski with 45 all time. If that's done digitally, so not intentionally photobombed, as Rivers able to somehow sidearm it over to Oliver for no gain.
How about Brandon Marshall, open field against her and doesn't give an inch and makes the tackle.
These are the kind of throws that always amaze you, how Rivers is able to improvise.
That's what he's done his whole career. He did it at North Carolina State for 4 years, and he is good. He's not good at it. He's great.
They've run 2 plays here, Phil. A run and a completion, yet they've lost a yard. So it's 3rd and 11.
Denver is not adverse to blitzing on 3rd and long. This time it looks like they're going to stay back and play pass coverage.
Pass is intercepted. It's Chris Harris going in the direction of Keenan Allen.
He slipped and fell. Chris Harris, top of your screen, here he is. Keenan Allen doesn't look like he's even going to come inside. There's a flag on the field. I think it's a late hit after the interception.
After the interception, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Intercepting team number 97. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's on Malik Jackson, but instead of starting near the 30, that'll back him up. That's only the 4th giveaway of the entire season by the Chargers.
When you worry about pass pressure and you anticipate throws, this is the kind of things that can happen. Where you're not quite in sync, you're going to make mistakes. And he throws so few interceptions. How about that? The first giveaway in the last 4 games.
They're actually reviewing upstairs as they do all turnovers. Make sure Harris had a clean catch on the pick.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Denver.
Chris Harris has his 2nd interception of the season.
Well, you'll see in the slow motion, the ball starts to come out right there, right before the elbow.
And again, this was the one in the second quarter when Caldwell fumbled on the kickoff.
Yeah, so the ball starts coming out at the beginning of the strip, right before the elbow hit. That should have been upheld as a fumble, but the play for the interception should have been confirmed. Complete control. The ball did hit the ground, but it didn't move. It was a great catch.
Hillman's got a 2-yard run. Here's what you're talking about with the.
And you'll see the control right there. The point of the ball does hit the ground, but it doesn't move at all. It has complete control with his left, with his right hand. Good interception.
2nd and 9. From the 50. He's got Hillman out of the backfield. And that generates a flag. Legion got a hit on Manning after the pass, but the flag is in the area of where Hillman went down.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Mike Harry, let's talk about this one right here.
Or you see you have a runner down on the ground, and all you need to do is touch him. Even if you hadn't hit him with the helmet, that's just too rough when the runner is already down on the ground.
Yep, that's right.
A touch is as good as a slam.
It was the old phrase, point of emphasis during the offseason. You know he's down. He really can't protect himself. Go up, touch him. He's down.
It's Turek Williams. And the Markov brings Denver to the Chargers 30.
Big play. That was 3rd down going against Denver's offense.
It's Hillman. Look at his quickness. Look at Hillman. Blast ahead for an 11-yard gain.
Well, believe it or not, Denver has been complaining about their second half first drives on the offensive side, saying it's too many 3-and-outs. They had one last week, and they change it up. You play pass defense, they'll run the football.
Back into the red zone, where they have feasted for 54 consecutive red zone possessions.
He caught him. He saw the blitz was coming by waiting so long, so now he can protect himself against the blitz.
With 1 on the play clock, and the pass goes back to Hillman. Hillman down the sidelines to the end zone.
Well, that's going into Peyton's world like we talked about. Here comes the blitz. Nobody picks up the back out of the backfield.
He's out of bounds. Looks like he's out at about the 3.
Yep, I think you're right. See no green. That's where they marked the 3-yard line. But what a play. If you saw it, the cat and mouse game, at the last second, the Chargers declared they were going to blitz. Stepped out of bounds. They declared the blitz. Peyton Manning checked off and had Hillman wide open.
And 1st and goal. And Demaryius Thomas not able to spin around fast enough to get away from Wright and chase that one down. And again, Jason Verrett is still out. He re-injured or aggravated that shoulder that kept him out of action against Kansas City last Sunday. The 1st-round pick cornerback. They're without Brandon Flowers tonight because of a concussion suffered in the Chiefs game. 2nd and goal. And Sanders for the 3rd time.
That was a really good catch. They cover the 2 inside receivers, and Peyton Manning, he throws it over the top of the defense. He did this on purpose. That is an excellent throw. That's trusting your wide receiver that he's going to go up and make that play. Sharice Wright is right there. The underneath coverage was there, so he threw it just out of their reach.
Sanders, again, did not have a touchdown until Sunday night against San Francisco. And now he's got 4 over the last 4 days, 3 of them tonight. It's the first touchdown off a San Diego giveaway all year long. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Verizon. More live games than ever before with NFL Mobile. Wendy's barbecue pulled pork, served 3 tasty ways. And by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. As you look at the Denver Mint, producing billions of coins every year.
Well, that was really a terrific anticipation and throw by Peyton Manning. San Diego had the perfect coverage on. They just couldn't stop the throw and catch.
And McManus has delivered another touchback. Phillip Rivers coming out. Here's what Marcus Ware, who was wired tonight, had to say about going after Rivers.
Yeah, like we all around him like a phone booth, dog. He's falling into it. You know what I'm saying? So if you power him, he steps back. You go around the corner, he steps up. It's like, it's good.
He's good. He's telling Quanterra Smith about facing Phillip.
Well, you know, as they always say, it's not his first rodeo. When you talk about Phillip Rivers, has great feel in the pocket. He's not going to scramble. He's just going to move and give himself time to throw.
On first down, over to Oliver. They have a man on him every time he touches it. This time it's Talib. We'll check the flag. Loss of 5.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, Jim, look at the touchdown Peyton Manning had. He throws it to the outside. It's an out and in. Gilchrist underneath it. They know the play. They got it doubled everywhere. 3 double teams, and Peyton Manning still made the throw and catch. And Emmanuel Sanders, what can you say? What a night for him. As time goes on, they're just finding more ways to use him.
6 catches tonight, 92 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, dumping it off to Oliver, and he loses 2.
They can't break a tackle. Oliver's been breaking tackles all year long. He's a tough, strong runner. But again, Brandon Marshall.
How about this? Oliver's got 8 carries for 4 yards, but 4 receptions for a loss of 7. So that's 12 touches for -3 yards on the night for Brandon Oliver.
You said it, I said it in commercial. We talked about it after the first drive. We went, boy, Denver's defense is fast. And you see it with their edge rushers and their linebackers.
2nd and 12. He's got the time. And he tried to thread the pass to Allen. Double teamed by Irving and Talib.
Aqib Talib is all over it. He's really good on inside routes. He sees the break and then he just outruns the football. Perfect timing.
On Miller, you saw him lean over, and he's come to the sidelines, replaced by McCray. 3rd and 12. Here's the long ball down the field. Diving attempt is incomplete. Trying to hook up with Malcolm Floyd.
If he'd have thrown it just a little higher, this is what you got to do. In this league, you have to throw the football 5 or 6 times high and deep down the field. The edge goes to the receiver. It's so much easier for him. He's going to the ball. The defensive back has to react to you and the football. Hard to do.
Here's Mike Cypress. Burst from the 25, sprinting ahead. And that's a 14-yard return after a 52-yard boot. Brought down by Green. Emmanuel Sanders having a night to remember in the Mile High City. And Peyton with the 3 touchdowns tonight. That's with regular and postseason numbers combined. 550 touchdown passes for Manning. Play action, and down the middle he goes to Demarius. Falls down at the 38. 23-yard pickup.
Demarius Thomas has just turned into a route runner. Besides the fact that he's big and fast, he does a little double move on the outside, and Sharice Wright, I think they caught, their feet got tangled up and he went down. But last week against the 49ers, he ran one of those routes and was wide open. Peyton Manning hit him right in stride.
And Thomas now with 90 yards on 6 catches. Coming back to him. Oh, and he drops it this time. On the quick slant. Let's go down to Tracy quickly.
Well, thanks, Jim. You saw Von Miller take himself out. He got the wind knocked out of him. Trainers checked his ribs, checked his chest. He's right now on the bench. No one looking at him, and it looks as though he'll go back in when they get back on defense.
Okay. Of course, Miller last year blew out a knee in late December, had to miss the playoffs, the Super Bowl. Was this week upon having to stand on the sidelines, sit on the bench most of the Super Bowl, just watching. He couldn't stand for long, having had the recent surgery.
Encroachment, defense number 72. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Called on Palapoy. Hey, Week 8 continues Sunday morning live from London. Special time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Everyone will get it on Fox. The Lions and the Falcons from Wembley Stadium. And here's your 1 o'clock set of games on CBS and Fox. Check your local listings. 2nd and 5. They go to Hillman, and he breaks into the secondary. They got a flag down, though. Back at the line of scrimmage. Is probably taking this one off the books. Hillman doesn't know it yet.
Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, second down.
They flagged Orlando Franklin, the converted right tackle, to left guard and take off the 33-yard touchdown.
Well, you saw what he brings to this offense and why we've been hearing about him for a year. You give him an opening, he can get through it so fast, and he can run past the unblocked defensive players. 74 inside.
Yeah, Franklin had a hold of Gatchkar.
Yep, reaches that arm right around him.
And the penalty marked off on the spot of the foul. We got Tammy at the top of the screen. It's 2nd and 12. And they're going deep. Going deep for Tammy. And that's going to bring an interference call against Marshall, who got beat earlier on a deep ball for a touchdown.
Well, that's one matchup that should favor.
Pass interference. Defense number 31. Automatic first down.
It should favor top of your screen. Marshall, he's faster than Tammy. Yes, never looks back, puts his arm on him, runs into him, keeps him from going inside and getting the football. That's a good call.
Ball is at the 9, 1st and goal. The running back is Juwan Thompson. That's a 31-yard penalty. San Diego's defense has been hit with 3 penalties this quarter. Sanders, the first man in the slot to the left. His last 3 catches have gone for touchdowns. This is going to Demarius Thomas. Down to the 2.
It's really a downfield screen that we saw and we talked about in the opening. That time Wes Welker went down the field and was blocking the whole way to let the receiver come inside and catch it. As he goes, look, you see the blocking by both receivers. They got the look they want. They did it in the first half for a big gain, and they just did it for a nice gain there.
And they got Hillman at running back. And they shift Virgil Green to the left. Hillman, who rushed for 2 touchdowns last week. And a timeout called by Denver. Midway third quarter, up 14 and looking to go in again. A reminder, with NFL Mobile, stream primetime games like tonight's Thursday Night Football broadcast and live local Sunday afternoon games on your mobile device. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile. Hillman the deep back. They go with the fullback instead, and it's a touchdown for Jawan Thompson.
Well, they don't have a true fullback on the roster, but I like the way they did this. You put a halfback at the fullback position, somebody that's used to handling the football and has done it many times, and the risk is much lower than giving it to the fullback, which we see every once in a while, Jim, and you know they get 2 or 3 carries the whole year.
And the rookie from Duke, again undrafted, played for one of Peyton's closest pals, David Cutcliffe. He has his second touchdown of his rookie season. The last 21 unanswered, going the Broncos' way. Manning and the Broncos with not only the 21 unanswered, but the last 11 first downs in this game that belong to the Broncos. And we'll bring it out with a touchback. And remind you, Saturday, it's the best game for the best conference. When the SEC on CBS goes all in with top-ranked Mississippi State at Kentucky in Lexington. And it all begins with the college football today here on CBS Sports at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Peyton Manning, 3 touchdowns, 228 yards. There's his quarterback rating for the night. He had 4 incompletions against the 49ers on the record-breaking night with the 4 touchdown passes, just as many touchdowns as incompletions. As a rare positive play goes Oliver's way, and it's good for only 2.
Well, you got to run the football. Why would you do it? You got to keep this defense honest. I think it's quite apparent when you get in obvious passing situations. Phillip Rivers, the offensive line, can't keep them out long enough.
By the way, that backfield, of course, hoping to have Ryan Matthews back in a couple of games. He's been out with a knee injury, suffered early in the season. They've already lost Danny Woodhead for the year. Donald Brown is inactive tonight with an injury. And that's in and out of the hands of Gates, well defended by Brandon Marshall.
How about that? He's having some night. And you just... Another free agent just comes out of nowhere. We talk about it. They have a lot of them on this team that are just making tremendous contributions. Late round draft picks. Chris Harris, he was an undrafted free agent. And Jim, when you talk about the Chargers running game, it wouldn't matter tonight if Jim Brown was back there.
There you go.
There's nowhere to run the football.
3rd down and 8. Denver dominating the line of scrimmage. Here they come after Rivers, who gets it away, and he's got a first down. Eddie Royal jumping up and grabbing that one in front of Bradley Roby, their first-round pick out of Ohio State.
Bradley Roby's had a good year. He has good technique, but he lets him get outside. His job was to cover the outside route. Got faked out, thought Eddie Royal was going inside. Good throw and catch.
Swings it over to Oliver, who makes a nifty move and gets out past the 50 to the 47. Another one of those last-ditch sidearm getaways by Rivers, and able to escape a possible sack, turn it into 22.
Yeah, they're expected to try to throw some crossers. It's man coverage, and that time Oliver finally beats Brandon Marshall to pick up extra yards.
To Oliver. And that's Brandon Marshall, who you just talked about. One of those rare finds, who was originally drafted into the league by Jacksonville and was cut 3 times by the Jaguars before Denver gave him a chance. And he served a very big role this year with Danny Trevathan
Sure.
battling injuries, and Trevathan now, his latest injury, has him on the IR, designated to return later.
The defensive coaches didn't even know about him because he was on the practice squad, always going against the offense, so they never watched what he was doing. John Fox saw it because he watches both sides and told him, we got to get this guy in the lineup.
2nd and 7. Down the sidelines looking for Floyd. And a battle for the football.
What a catch.
Oh my goodness, was that a catch. Look at this, trying to battle for it.
It's not only that, he sees TJ Ward coming from the inside, full speed. But receivers, they know the rules. They're protected when they're in the air. That makes it a little easier to make catches like that.
That is some catch, but Floyd was hurt. His arm was dangling as he went to the far sideline. Incredible catch. 1st and 10. And that's Keenan Allen down to the 10-yard line. His first catch of the second half. Goes for 7.
You know, it is what they... Boy, Malcolm Floyd's going off the field.
Second and 3. At the 11. To Ronnie Brown. Spinning for that first down, trying to get away from Ward. But they mark him a yard short. And they bring Brandon Oliver back in for a 3rd and 1.
Third and 1. If they didn't get it, if they didn't lose yards here, Jim, I think they would absolutely go for it on 4th down. Getting late in the 3rd quarter, you're down 21 points.
They stack 3 to the left, including Gates. Now a timeout's called by San Diego. And Rivers looks to the bench as if to say why. Rivers didn't want that timeout, which came from the sideline.
It did. Mike McCoy walked down the sideline and made the call. I don't know if he liked the formation. Here he is, top of your screen. Well, I can't make it.
Yeah, McCoy right up there in the blue shirt. Oh, no, he says.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers. You know, early in his career, or just a few years ago, these kind of things bothered people. Like, oh, he loses his cool and all that, but you know, Jim, we need him. He's high energy. He does everything with a smile. Even there, he had a little smile on his face like, why are we doing that?
Great leader. 3rd and 1. Let's see what happens out of the San Diego timeout. Going to try to go up top for it. He's got to slide away from the pressure to the end zone and incomplete, and no flag. Going for Oliver. Oh, there is a flag on the far side of the field.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 29. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
They got the rookie Roby, and Denver will have a new set of downs and 1st and goal to go.
29 right there. Oh. The change of direction. You see him, Gray pulls the towel out of the pants of the San Diego receiver. So that and the jersey, good call. Those are tough. When you stack 3 receivers together, the defensive backs got to sort it out. Hard to make that change of direction in situations like that.
Ladarius Green to the right side. Gates in a slot to the left, and Rivers unloads it, incomplete. And that pressure was coming from Vaughn Miller, who did, in fact, as Tracy reported, re-enter the game after having the wind knocked out of him earlier in this quarter.
Well, they double-teamed Vaughn Miller that time, but when Phillip Rivers breaks out, there's nothing that DJ Fluker can do. but the coverage on the right side where he was looking, tight coverage everywhere in the field, double teaming. Antonio Gates nowhere to throw the football.
2nd and goal. Chargers down 21. Lofts it. Incomplete, and a flag on Ward. Gates, so often Rivers' go-to guy, and he was headed his way again.
There's no foul for defensive pass interference. 3rd down.
Go. Mike Carey, why is this not defensive pass interference? They impede his progress, it looks like.
Yes, we have a catchable ball, and it goes right through the receiver's back. Pass interference would have been the best call there.
Instead, it's 3rd and goal. Watch Allen on the right side. Talib will be on him. Allen already in the end zone once. Rivers is looking the left side instead. And goes to the end zone. Incomplete. Boy, it hung on the back of Raheem Moore for a while as Gates, again, was the guy that Rivers was looking for. And they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, nowhere to go again. Phillip Rivers does a good job, breaks out of the pocket. But once he breaks, the second move by the receivers, nobody is still getting open. Antonio Gates, once again, 2 guys covered him. You have to look somewhere else.
Well, it's still the 3rd quarter, but they've got to do something right here. Down 21. 4th and goal. Rivers to the end zone and a touchdown, and it's Gates.
Really surprised by the coverage that time.
The 68th time Rivers has found Gates for a touchdown.
Jim, they single covered him, and he uses his big body and just pushes the defender out of the way. It was a nice little quick move, and T.J. Ward, not many guys could make this coverage. Gets in the end zone, pushes off. Phillip Rivers anticipates. Easy touchdown.
Rivers was talking to us last night about his first touchdown pass as a starter. Came against Oakland in an opening game in 06, and it was to Gates. In a game he only threw 11 passes. Little did he know that was going to be the start of the most prolific combination between quarterback and tight end as far as touchdowns go in league history. He said, hey, that's the first of many, he told Gates. Gates said, oh, I'm not so sure. We'll see.
Gates looked at him like he was crazy.
NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. And by Walmart. Save money. Live better. And the scoring drive that ends on a 4th down touchdown connection to Antonio Gates. And that's his 8th touchdown of the season. And we've been talking about how successful Denver's been for a long time in the red zone. That's now 55 straight red zone scores for San Diego, and Rivers is coming out smiling now after completing that drive with the touchdown. Noticed a little bit last night, some of the Charger players, we were talking about their 5-2 start. They got a little sensitive about how everybody's kind of jumping on the bandwagon. Says you guys in the media may think that we've just kind of figured out. We feel like we've been doing good things for a long time. As Caldwell shakes off the first hit and gallops out to the 35.
Well, Jim, let's look at the Manning family and how they all throw the football. Archie Manning, more of a sidearm thrower, but boy, could he run with the football in college and the pros. Peyton, I've talked about it many times tonight, a body thrower, violent. That's why he's so active with the football down the field. Eli Manning, just like his personality, real smooth throwing the football and very classic. All three, of course, got it done.
Hey,
Archie Manning, yeah. He looks like Phillip Rivers the way he delivered the football sometimes. Whatever angle he needed, he got it done.
Play action fake and in the direction of Thomas. Exclusive wired sound from Peyton Manning's record-breaking game. Sound FX, Peyton Manning 509s tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. Speaking of Archie, he's taking a leave of absence from the College Football Playoff Committee for health reasons. He had a knee replacement surgery in the summer and just a great friend to the college game, and we wish him well in his continued recovery. He's going to be just fine. And Olivia, I know they're keeping busy trying to get Archie back up to speed as soon as possible. And here's the give to Hillman. Look at this move. Down the sidelines. Tried to fake out Weddle. Weddle kept the angle, but Hillman with a 37-yard run.
Watch what he does. He wants to cut it up. He makes that little dip, then turns it to the outside, and we talked about it. He can outrun the guys who are not blocked, and he does it this time. Sharice Rice, that's tough. He was at a stop, but so fast. Situation where you want to get that first down, turn the game back in your favor, get momentum, give your defense a rest. Hillman gets it done.
And he's got 13 carries, 87 on the night.
Jimmy made that move because he's getting the reps in practice, getting more in the game.
And getting another one right here, taking a Charger with him for about 4. And look at him just jump right back up and going to sit out of play.
You know, everybody worried about him fumbling the football. The Chargers, when you fumble the football in the NFL, that like goes on your tombstone. You got to not fumble it for the next 5 years. The Chargers, they talked about it every time he gets the football. We got to try to rip it out because, oh, we think he's a fumbler, but nothing even close to that so far tonight.
Thompson replaces Hillman, 2nd and 6. In the last minute of the third. And a catch right off the ground by Sanders for 5.
Well, let's look at next-gen stats. How far did Ronnie Hillman run there? Boy, nice break to the outside, and that's speed. Everybody wanting him to go to college and play wide receiver. San Diego State, he told me, was the only one that said you can be a running back. He made the right choice.
3rd and 1 for the Broncos, just inside the 20. Ask Thompson to pick it up, and he is able to lower the shoulder pads and deliver the new set of downs.
That was a man looking for some contact.
He found it, found the first to run out the quarter through 3. 28-14 Broncos. Will return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching Thursday Night Football. Broncos taking the 2nd and 3rd quarters by 14-7 margins. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson along with Mike Carey on the rules situations. Tonight we start the 4th, and the Broncos have a first down from the San Diego 16. And to Thomas, that puts him over 100 with his 8th catch of the night.
Well, we always see these screens to the outside. We saw it against San Francisco to Wes Welker for a touchdown. Tonight, they're doing something to the inside. They're going to block down the field. You see Wes Welker. Thomas comes underneath. That's the 3rd time, and all 3 of them have gained good yards. Just another reason why they're almost impossible to stop.
It's Hillman. He's got a first down. Into the pile near the 2.
You know, just think about it, Jim, as you watch this game, all the different plays. Even if you're a casual fan, you can notice it when you watch this offense. And they do it all. They execute it to of course, to a high degree. The talent is incredible. The offensive line is solid. Good luck.
Taylor, ram!
And we probably have the greatest quarterback in NFL history running this whole thing.
Let's see if they run it here. Maybe give Hillman a reward for a good night. They fake to him over the top. They go, and he's intercepted with a flag out. It's Weddle. Weddle to the 20. The Broncos' red zone streak of scoring will come to an end unless the flag's against San Diego.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 38. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
They got Marcus Gilchrist.
Good job by Eric Weddle, understanding that they love those hop passes down inside. Everybody runs them. Watch number 32, reading the quarterback. Eric Weddle, oh man, that's a great
catch.
One-handed catch. He's had a terrific year. When you watch him play, he always sticks out, making tackles, blitzing the quarterback.
Again, they go inside to Thompson, and Thompson's in for his second touchdown. From a yard out.
Well, the coaches say he makes a quick decision and he runs hard. Well, we've seen that on both touchdown runs. Does he get in?
Boy, when he spun around, I think he broke the plane.
He might have when he spun. Here he
Butler
goes.
has hold of him. Still waiting for the word up top to confirm it.
The previous play is under review.
Okay, closer inspection is necessary before they give the touchdown to Thompson.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Juwan Thompson, 3 touches tonight, and 2 of them have gone for touchdowns.
Yeah, the ruling on the field stands. I can never see the football, so there's no evidence that says that he didn't score.
That's right. McManus ups the lead. Back to 21 again. 35-14 Broncos. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving. Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. And by Mazda and the Mazda 6 as you look at the Museum of Nature and Science here, founded back in 1900 in the great city of Denver.
Well, the one thing you take away from tonight when you watch this game, 35-14, Denver on both sides of the ball, they are extremely aggressive.
Phillip Rivers, he has been under pressure all night long, Phil.
Well, he does this just about every single game. Von Miller gets back there. Look at him, though. He keeps his focus down the field, gets the sack. But then the pocket collapses so fast, nobody's open right away. He's throwing those little dump passes, which have just not worked tonight. The tackling, the speed of the Broncos is taking those away.
By the way, Malcolm Floyd was last seen being escorted to the locker room after a circus catch. He's back in the game. And here's the completion to Keenan Allen, who's having a good night for the Chargers side. His 9th catch.
Well, one of the reasons why you don't play a zone where you just watch the quarterback or plays like that. The receivers, the quarterbacks are too good now in the NFL. They will throw those open spots and get big plays just like that.
9 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown for Keenan Allen. Still trying to find a running game, and nothing is there. Give him one. Oliver. In the win here last December, Ryan Matthews carried it nearly 30 times for over 120 yards. They ball controlled it and they won the game here. Rivers, in fact, has won 4 of the last 5 years in the regular season at Denver, but he's down big tonight. In a scramble here, and Phillip with a flag down has the first down. You see the flag in the secondary. Scrambles for 16.
Illegal contact, defense number 54. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
35-14. What happens? Defensive linemen, they think of one thing. Let's sack the quarterback. Look at the running lane and the sights for Phillip Rivers. We talk about this all the time. It doesn't matter who you are at quarterback now in the NFL. When they give you the opportunity, you got to take off and run. Or take off, move, and then throw the football.
Tells a fellow NC Stater, Nate Irving, get off of me there at the bottom of the pile. His longest run of the season goes for 16. And it's Oliver for 3. And it's Irving again on the tackle.
Hey, Jim, how about this? Do you think Brandon Oliver is going to need these 10 days off after the contact he's had here tonight? I would say yes.
Well, he's just had a great run up here for the 3 games. They were searching for a running game after Matthews went out early in the year. Woodhead out for the year. Donald Brown, they had him start out at Buffalo. But this kid has had some monster performances. He was over 100 in his first 2 starts.
His roommate at the University of Buffalo was Khalil Mack.
And that's something the scouts never realized his talent. Undrafted. 2nd and 7. And there's Floyd. Shoved out by Talib. Yeah, you're talking about Brandon Oliver. How do you have all the scouts out there checking out Khalil Mack, and they never realize that there's a kid there that can play in the league?
Many reasons. You know, one, he's at Buffalo, so they go, well, it's not the competition, it's not great. I always love that. And then his size, and when he tested, he even admittedly said when he worked out for some pro teams, he just had a bad day, so sometimes you can slip through. But he fit in during the preseason. The first game against the Cowboys, he was terrific.
First down for the Chargers. Stepping away and dumping it off to Oliver for 9. There were 22 running backs drafted back in the spring. He wasn't one of them. There were 30 more signed within the first 2 days of the draft, and he wasn't not one of them either.
Good job by Phillip Rivers. Another odd angle throwing the football. Good job moving around and getting extra time.
2nd and 1.
Still time for the San Diego Chargers to get back in this game. Of course, it is 4-down territory for sure.
Here is Oliver. And he's able to go under Irving to pick up the first.
Well, sometimes being 5'8" is a good thing. Gets underneath. Who was that? Brandon Marshall again or Nate Irving? Brandon Marshall.
Well, he first went under Irving, then Marshall finished him off. And now it's a 1st and goal to go for the Chargers. Watch Gates in the slot to the left. And there he is. Caught it for the touchdown, Antonio Gates. I tell you, you put Gates in a 1-on-1 jump ball situation, he's going to win it.
Absolutely. That's what they do. They get formations where Phillip Rivers reads it. And right at the snap of the ball, he knew immediately who he was going to because he saw a safety, T.J. Ward, on Antonio Gates.
Got rid of it just before Miller decked him.
And he was mad about this. He thought Von Miller drove him into the ground. That was not a penalty.
You know, Gates had a 3-touchdown game against Seattle this year, and he said after the game he got so many texts, but they were all from former players. He says, I need some new friends.
Tells you getting old.
Exactly. We're back and waiting to see if the Gates
After
touchdown.
review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Receiver maintained control of the football all the way to the ground. Touchdown.
Second touchdown of the night for Gates. As Ward tried to force it out of there, but the strong hands of the former Kent State basketball player played in the Elite Eight back in 2002, one game away from going to the Final Four as their top rebounder lost to Mike Davis's Indiana team. Rivers has a third touchdown pass of the night, 2 of them to Gates. Rivers has hit his last 5 passes, 2 of them for touchdowns. This one went 80 yards, 8 plays. One of the big plays, the 17-yard scramble that had 5 more added to it because of a penalty on the Denver defense. And then Gates from 10 yards on the receiving end of Rivers' third touchdown toss of the night. Now, what about onside kick here or keep it away, kick it away? You've got Denver anticipating or up close for a possible onside kick.
They got to do that to protect themselves, but I don't think there's any way you onside kick. You got one guy back, try to pin him inside the 20.
You got Sanders was standing at the 20. He goes back to watch it go over his head for a touchback. Now you got to stop Peyton Manning in this offense twice.
Yeah, you do. But, you know, the onside kick it, if you miss it, almost guarantees that the game, it could be over. So I just watched the kickoff. It was close. If it's about a 3 or 4 more yards shorter, they're going to pin them inside the 10 because there's no blockers back there to protect the returner. We see it a lot. I don't think I've ever seen a team execute it very well when they kick off.
9.5 to play. Hillman was 3 yards away from 100. Shifts behind the quarterback. Quick toss to Sanders. He's got a 100-yard gain. Manuel Sanders lost the football. Had it stripped. And then Welker dives onto it for the Bronco recovery. Weddle was the one who knocked it out of Sanders' hands. And Welker, who's had only 1 catch tonight, comes up with his biggest play of the evening, a recovery.
It's a great drive starter, throwing a quick pass outside.
Look at him punch it.
Yeah, he got a fist and hits it. Good hustle. Boy, Eric Weddle, you know you're in a drive. You know you need to get down there. Keep San Diego from getting back on quick. You throw it out there. The off coverage, don't forget, starting corners for San Diego are not out there. And you almost get the big turnover.
1st and 10. And Hillman has 1. Again, next Thursday, the Thursday Night Football package goes exclusively to the NFL Network. And we'll be down in Charlotte for the Carolina Panthers, hosting of the New Orleans Saints. NFC South action next week. That'll be a good one. Carolina has to tackle with Seattle this weekend, and the Saints will be hosting Green Bay. 2nd and 9.
Taylor. Omaha.
And another catch for Sanders. His 9th of the night for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. Chris Davis is out there in that secondary, so they're so thin at corner. The rookie from Auburn seeing his first action in this game.
Blitz at time by the San Diego Chargers. They got to stop, of course, a scoring drive, but they got to stop the drive to give their offense a chance. They need 2 drives to tie this game up. So you take a chance right here.
3rd and 3. And the Chargers hold him. Take him off the field. Pass complete. Julius Thomas with just his 2nd catch tonight. But it's good for a 1st down and 17 yards.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage, and we've seen it all night. coming up across the field, a safety on the tight ends. It's so hard to cover him. Gilchrist just cannot stay with him. We see the same thing on the other side when T.J. Ward is trying to cover Antonio Gates.
It's rare to have such a quiet night for Julius Thomas. 2 catches for 23 yards. 9 touchdowns on the season for him.
That was a big one.
Here's Hillman, and he's backed up. What a tackle by Gatchkar.
You know, we see it so much. Gatchkar, when he gets in there and plays, not a normal starter, but boy, he always plays well. 59, watching attack, opens his arms up. Perfect form tackling.
Andre Caldwell comes onto the field for the Denver offense from the 35. Second and 11. Well, Thomas is not in on this play. Pass intended for Hillman. And it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up. 3rd and 11.
Well, it'll be interesting if they don't make it here. Do they bring in the field goal kicker and try a 53, 52-yard field goal?
Yeah, a kicker who has not been healthy. He has a groin injury, talking about Brandon McManus. In fact, didn't even practice on Tuesday. Limited yesterday. Because that field goal would pretty much clinch it, make it a 3-score game. Third and 11. Payton slides away from the pressure and throws it away and hits the deck. That was Reyes chasing after him.
John Fox, good job. Coverage down the field is good. John Fox sending the field goal team out. Tough to go. The penetration or the push on the pocket. There's some guys open, but Peyton Manning not wanting to take a sack. Bailed out there quick to ensure this long field goal try.
So here's McManus from 53 yards. His longest is 44. And this kick is no good, and San Diego will be taking over at the 43 with 6 minutes to go. And still a pulse for the Chargers. There's Dean Spanos, the chairman of the board and the president of the Chargers. Checking out a few texts. Getting a few encouraging texts, I'm sure, after the missed field goal. Here with 6 minutes to go. His team takes over at the point of the miss, the 43. Best starting point of the evening. They've driven it for touchdowns the last 2 times they've had it. Dump it off across the middle. And Floyd is tripped up by Roby. Nice tackle by the rookie. By the way, doubleheader day on the way Sunday. We're going to dial up a dynamic duo of games. Early, many are going to see Seattle at Carolina. Late, we're going to be in Pittsburgh for the Steelers hosting of Indianapolis. And everything gets started at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today. 2nd and 7. And again, they take what's available underneath, and they've got Green for a first down. Ladarius Green.
Big, fast, tight end. They come with the blitz this time. And what does that do? That opens up the underneath guys running across like Ladarius Green. Haven't heard his name much because Malcolm Floyd is back. Antonio Gates is playing great, but he's big. Maybe the fastest guy on the team. You give him those situations, he can make a big play for you.
It's his first catch tonight. Good for a first down. Rivers now has hit his last 7 throws. He's going for the big ball. And that is intercepted by Raheem Moore. He can get up and run with it. And finally decked by Johnny Troutman at the 28-yard line. Rivers was trying to find Malcolm Floyd deep.
Well, it was a double move. Aqib Talib was all over it, and Phillip Rivers just lost his patience. It was never there.
That might be down by contact.
I think so.
I mean, Floyd had a hand on his back.
And he's just hoping his big receiver can go up and make a play. But Raheem Moore plays basically every single play this year as a safety. Good job reading the quarterback and going over there and securing the catch. Watch how he catches it with his arms and his body. Yeah, there's contact, so this is definitely going to be down.
Which will mean the football will be at about the 3.
They were in contact as they go up, as they hit each other. You can see the arm of Malcolm Floyd on Raheem Moore.
Peyton's already got his offensive unit. He's waving him back to retreat. The huddle in the end
After review,
zone.
the intercepting player was down by contact at the 4-yard line. Please set the game clock to 4 minutes, 53 seconds. First down, Denver.
This Raheem Moore is such a different player. Of course, missed most of all of last year, but 2 years removed from the Flacco throw in the playoffs. And John Fox. Mixing it up there.
I don't know. I think that was all good stuff. I think John Fox is going, that's what we need you to do. They've had so many safety troubles over the first 2 years. This year, there have been no problems with Raheem Moore or TJ Ward.
First down. Underneath goes Hillman for 3, and that gives him 100 on the nose. And all Phillip can do is shake his head. 3 touchdowns and 2 picks tonight.
You know, they accomplished this, Jim, as we watched the game, especially here in the second half. They threw the ball enough. It did tire the Denver Broncos pass rush out. They were not getting to him as fast or collapsing the pocket like they did early in the game.
6 linemen in for the Broncos. Chris Clark. Now, if they run it here, San Diego with 2 timeouts might think about utilizing one here. As Hillman picks up another 3. And they're going to let the clock run with 4 minutes to go. 3rd down on the way. Also on the way, the Mazda postgame show. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game. They will meet again, their second matchup at San Diego will be December 14th.
Of course, the Chargers are hoping here in a few weeks they'll get a lot of injured players back, but they have to have a stop here. Peyton Manning, of course, is going to be extremely careful with the football.
Ram! Hey, go the ball!
3rd and 4. He's got his first down. And Welker holds on even though he is pancaked by Weddle.
Eric Weddle, they're waiting on the play, but the timing is so good that he just can't get over there and make the play. Here's Eric Weddle. Look at, he comes down and hooks up in between them. And Eric Weddle just gets up and shakes his head.
Now inside 3 to go.
Apple! Yeah, Apple! Yeah. Omaha!
We'll ride it with Hillman for 7. Now with 20 carries on the night and 109 yards.
Yeah, you just look at this football team. Look at the offense. We talked about the Broncos. Hillman, Emmanuel Sanders both in there. It gives them speed. They're much more dynamic.
Timeout called by San Diego. And again, what a night it's been for Sanders. There's more than one guy named Sanders who was ready for prime time tonight. Not just Dion, but so too was Emmanuel.
Yeah, I think that play right before half, playing that aggressive coverage, that's the one to look back on and go, that was a mistake. Emmanuel Sanders, one of the reasons they wanted him, Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator, learned under Mike Martz in St. Louis. and he wanted a route runner like they remembered him of Isaac Bruce, and they thought he was close to that.
And next-gen stats have him credited with 968 yards of running tonight in total. All the plays. There's a new stat for him, as he's got 120 in receiving yards. That's Thompson hurtling ahead for another first down. And timeout called again by the Chargers. Their last.
Bring the tight end, Virgil Green across. Everybody chasing the football. Thompson cuts it back. Good run. Really, when you look at it, Jim, your starting corners are out. You got to say San Diego. So they're willing to fight.
By the way, the Broncos are bound to improve to 6-1, and they will go on a 3-game road trip to New England, which will be our national doubleheader game coming up in 10 days' time. Then at Oakland, at St. Louis. They had their bye week early in the season, week 4. San Diego, meanwhile, will be at Miami next week. At least they haven't won in 30 years, and then they'll have their bye week. Thompson, another 4. Which will bring us to the 2-minute warning. They played 3 close games a year ago, these two, including the divisional round here at Denver, won by 7 by the Broncos before they met up with New England and won the AFC Championship a week later. But they did not score over 30 points in any one of the 3 games last year, the Broncos. Tonight they put up 35. 2 minutes to go as the Broncos are on their way to 6-1. Will Payton won't have to stay up quite as late tonight returning texts like he did on Sunday night. So many out there to congratulate him. Wide-ranging friendships from the country music field to, of course, in football, as old coaches, legendary quarterbacks of yesteryear, current quarterbacks, all the assistants, golfers from Tiger Woods to Phil Mickelson to Bubba Watson, on and on. You know how he is about returning texts. He spent probably about as much time Sunday night just saying, hey, thank you, as he did as long as it took to beat San Francisco in the game itself.
Well, I think now he can sit back and cherish what he's done and maybe celebrate a little, because he did that Sunday night. The turnaround is so quick, you can't even sit there and enjoy the victory for a day.
In 96 hours. In 96 hours, they put up, what, 77 points.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, he's getting mad. You know, he gets mad at his players, the coaches, and this time he's mad at the fans.
You know, we've had a chance to see in person Denver 3 times. We've seen everybody from Seattle to New England. This is the best team in football.
Right now, there's no doubt in my mind they're the best team in football. So many weapons on offense. Peyton Manning, the quarterback, fast. They can do everything on the defensive side. And like I said earlier in the game, they match up. They both attack.
As Thompson has a pair of touchdowns tonight. Picks up 5. We thank DeMarcus Ware for being mic'd up tonight. And here was a word from him a moment ago.
I gotta go get this quarterback. When I beat around the corner, I'm just like right here trying to swipe, and he just runs back. You know, I'm gonna go around the corner, and I'm gonna do like this, and I'm boom. I'm gonna spin back. And he's gonna be right there running that way. Yeah.
He's frustrated, isn't he? I mean, that's all he can talk about. I'm gonna get this Rivers.
Boy, is he loving his time here in Denver, though.
He was talking about going upfield, stopping, make Rivers step up, then swing inside and get the sack.
3rd and 5. Timeout called by Payton. Again, the Mazda post-game show will be coming up shortly. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game. When you look inside that 6-1 record, includes wins against Indianapolis, Arizona, San Francisco, and San Diego. Pretty impressive.
It is impressive. And John Pagano said this year's offense he sees in Denver is better than the team he saw last year, and I think we've noticed that too all year long.
Broncos, who have gone on to claim the #1 seed in their conference the last 2 years. Looking at a third year. Just now week 8, so reaching the halfway point. Looking like the team to beat when it comes to that #1 overall seed going into playoff time for the American Football Conference. Improving to 6-1. They also won in the division against Kansas City week 2. That was a hard-fought game. What a job put together by Coach Reed. Talk about a team decimated by injury. They won at San Diego. They're 3-3. It's John Elway. He had a big offseason. Some of his acquisitions, especially that defensive side.
I'm just trying to figure out how they get all these players here and get it under the salary cap. So John Elway has shown everybody a great executive.
Another timeout called by the Broncos. A little throwback Thursday. Focused on John Elway, 2-time Super Bowl champion. His 300 career touchdown passes. And going out with those Super Bowl wins.
You know, just physically one of the most gifted quarterbacks that's really ever played in the league. He's big, strong, could shake off tackles, really good scrambler, could move, throw on the run. And, you know, he played in an era, in a style. It wasn't all about him just throwing the football. But when they needed it late in games, seemed like he always came through.
Colquitt. And that's returned by Allen to the 33 with just 18 seconds remaining. What do you see for San Diego now after this 5-1 start, losing 2 games in a span of 4 days to drop to 5-3?
I thought before the season start they could be a surprise team because they got some corners. Verrett, they got Brandon Flowers. Injuries have really hurt them. They've got to get healthy so they can go down and win some of these games. Their schedule very tough at the end. I mean, look at that, Baltimore, New England, down in Miami. Hey, that's not going to be easy. It'll be hot. Miami's fast. They got pass rushers. Tannehill playing better, playing very well.
And they'll just run it. Oliver, for the first time tonight, sees open space in the running game. And that will do it.
But, Jim, the thing that makes this team different than the one we saw last year is the defense. It is much improved.
It's the 4th time in Denver team history they have 200-yard receivers in Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, plus a 100-yard rusher in Ronnie Hillman. They put up 35 points against the #3 scoring defense in the league. Without a giveaway tonight, the Broncos did not allow a sack. And they advanced to 6-1 with their 4th straight victory since coming out of the bye.
Well, they're hot right now. They really are, on both sides of the football. They're one of those streaks. Can you keep this going? Can you keep playing at this level? We're watching them play on both sides of the football now.
A couple of guys that one day will meet again in Canton. Welker didn't have a real busy night of it, but he had a key fumble recovery in that 4th quarter just after San Diego had cut it to 35-21 and Sanders had the ball stripped. And had the Chargers recovered, who knows, with plenty of time to go, they would have had the ball in plus territory.
Well, you look back at it and say that might have been as big